This is a video of our conference and how amazing it is. Video testimonials of some of the attendees of the conference and of LMSA and why this is such an important organization.
Well, the Latino Medical Student Association Conference is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I've been coming for almost 15 years, and I would say it is the secret to my success because I've met individuals that have helped me better understand how I am needed in the community because I speak Spanish, because I'm Mexican, and I also have a strong interest in making sure that everyone has equal access to medical care. And so these are the conferences that really allow us to make those connections and make change happen.
Here's the crisis, and I'll be very succinct. It's estimated right now that in the United States about 34% of children are overweight and obese. It's estimated that numbers like 40 to 50% of Latino children are overweight and obese. Okay? The largest growing population in the United States and in California by far is Latino children. So if you take the numbers and extrapolate them out 20 years, it means that there will be an explosion of diabetics by the age of 40. Like half the population will be a diabetic population at the age of 40. We know what this has happened because we've seen it on the reservations with the Hopi and the Pima Indian. They have renal disease, they have cardiac problems, amputations, blindness by the age of 40. We're about to see that happen in California, Texas, and it will go throughout the United States. So this epidemic is serious.
The country, maybe more specifically in California or the Southwest, recognizing that Latinos comprise well over 40% of the population. In some of our smaller communities, we're over 95% of the population. But when you're looking in general, you're looking at over 40% now. And these are our patients. These are the people who are going to require health care.
I decided to go into medicine when I was in high school. My mother had a stroke, and basically being involved in her care and seeing all the doctors and how they impacted her life, how they saved her life and then impacted her life, going going and also my family, my brothers and our lives. I knew that I saw how important doctors were and in people and making the difference in people's lives, and I knew then when I was 14 that I wanted to go into medicine.
So this is my third LMSA conference, and for me, I'm always really excited to come to the LMSA conferences, not only because I'm reconnecting with old friends and meeting new friends, but because it really kept my passion alive. While I was at UCLA before the post-baccalaureate program, I struggled academically, and at times, I felt that I couldn't become a physician, but it was really through these conferences that I met my mentors, and I heard similar stories to the ones I had, and I continue to have.
I'd always been proud of working, to help support my parents and my family in the fields, cleaning houses with my mom, mowing lawns with my siblings, my dad. And it really helped to focus my energy and my attention on my grandfather, who we loved and respected. And in the course of those 5 years that he lived in our home before he passed away, he ended up having strokes, he had his leg amputated, he ended up having a GI tube bleeding through his stomach because of his strokes. He lost his ability to swallow food. And when he passed away, and having my sister Dolores as an example, who at that time was going to nursing school, it was like, well, why can't I do this in medicine? And my grandfather's provider was also very instrumental to make sure that my mother and the family didn't burn out, that we were also okay. She took excellent care of my grandfather. And I thought, well, why can't I be like that? Why can't I do that for somebody else?
And throughout my journey in medical school, LMSA has been near and dear to my heart because I felt that it played a key role in me being successful as a medical student, as a future physician, and it also gave me a community. And community is so important for students like us who often feel that we're left out and that we're very different from everybody else.
So I would encourage every student, you don't all have to be doctors or nurses or pharmacists. Find your role, but make it a productive role where you are contributing to the lives of our future. That's what I would like to see the most. With regards to healthcare, as the good book says, the harvest is ready, but the laborers are few. So we need many more people to come in to serve the diverse communities that we're trying to care for.
With the Affordable Care Act, for example, more Latinos will have access to insurance, but where can they go for care? In Beverly Hills, 10 years ago, these are 10-year-old figures, there were for every 100,000 residents in Beverly Hills, 2,024 physicians. That's 2,024 per 100,000. Beverly Hills, of course, is 92% white. At night, when the nannies go home, and the jardinero goes home, and the cocinera goes home, and the domestica goes home, is 92% white. And where do those jardineros and domesticas go? They go to Bell. Well, Bell, per 100,000, has 19 physicians. 19 here, 2,000 there. Are a lot of physicians going to move their practice from Beverly Hills to Bell? I don't think so. If we want more physicians in Bell, it would probably be behooving us to educate people from Bell. They're more likely to go back, more likely to speak Spanish, make those choices. So it's a quality of care issue, not an affirmative action issue.
I currently have probably one of the best opportunities because I am in medical school and I myself am undocumented. I'm DACA eligible, and so it's like the struggle is every day. Every day is a struggle because every day I have to figure out a way to be in medical school. I don't get any financial aid and I don't receive any support financially from the typical resources that other students have. So being able to be here today and being able to really inspire other students to be able to be in the same space that I'm at is something that I think really inspires me to continue on, because they want to be in this place as well, and so often we've been told that it's not possible and that it couldn't be done. But the fact is that if we have mentors like Dr. Talamantes and like like Gabby, who are your friends, your peers, but also people that inspire you, then we can continue to cross those borders that everyone always said were not possible to cross.
One of the strongest points I try to really drill down to my mentees, my students, is that they have to first recognize that they come in with a lot of different strengths, and that those strengths are very valuable to our community, and they can't forget about that. So the fact that they grew up poor, that they speak another language, that they're immigrants, that they have had to face similar issues of not having access to medical care. Because as physicians, those are the types of patients we take care of. And so if you understand that community, you're gonna thrive and do so well for these patients that we need you and we can't afford to lose you.
Whatever your dream or vision is, stay focused, do it, do not be dissuaded. When it looks really bad, that's when you have to push harder. So that's important. If you give up, you gave up. It's over. No one else is going to pull you out. That's critical. No one succeeds unless they have that attitude about, I'm not giving up. You got to throw me out of here because I'm not giving up. So that's key. That's important.
If we can develop these young people early on to graduate from high school, to go to college, to complete college, to enter health professional schools, then those are their future doctors, their future nurses, their future health administrators. It's in their best interest to support these kind of programs, these kind of organizations, Latino Medical Student Association, because that's what LMSA does.
When I started out my journey, the last place I thought I would end up would be in an academic institution. But the reality was that was my place in the world. And so even though it wasn't the most welcoming environment, I made my way. And what I tell people, the students in particular, is that I'm not going to live forever. So unless I make other students like me who are going to fill these roles, right, that we're going to be in a bad situation. So I think the same, whether it's Kaiser or Sutter or any other organization, right, we need to have a diverse workforce, and that every student who then makes it to that level tries to reproduce themselves in some way.
I have a particular interest in youth, at-risk youth, particularly those that are living in poverty conditions, at risk to get involved in gang violence. And my goal and my understanding is that any youth would rather have a stethoscope in their hand than a gun. And it's going to be, I'm going to dedicate energies so that I can create a pipeline program so that I can get them into my hospitals and out of the streets with physician mentors, with residents, with other students, giving back to the community, being inspired and seeing themselves as physicians and not just as people who the community have neglected, who society neglects.
We're retired and we put in our time and it was hard, but there's a lot of opportunities. I think we still should be involved in patient care because it changes and we need to know what's going on. But we could also provide history, information to kind of motivate and sponsor kids and other doctors to keep doing what they're doing, and also to lend advice.
I think the message that I want to deliver to the students is I didn't do this alone. I did it in a community. And so I want to give back to that community. And so because LMSA was there for me, I am here for LMSA. And I want other people to be there, that they can see that this is an organization that is shaping tomorrow's leaders.
We're going to need two kinds of advice here. We're going to need new advice, and we're going to need old advice. And we're going to need to merge it so we get the best outcomes on whatever we do. So I just hope that, for the LMSA students, that there's been role models out there, but you need to become the role